Hey everybody, Robert here from Black Belt Gaming. I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be jumping into Lord of the Rings, the Living Card Game, the revised core set. As many of you know, I played the old set when it first came out and played through some of that. And always played true solo, and I tended to play on easy mode and with the basic game, meaning that was in the manual back then, where you didn't play with shadow cards. It was just an easier way to play. That kind of balanced some things out to play solo, but some scenarios were just still impossible to win, like the third one out of the core box. So I'm going to be playing for the first time really on standard mode. I've got the more difficult cards shuffled into the encounter deck. I'm not starting with extra resources. And I'm actually going to be doing something I've never done before, and that is playing two-handed. And we'll see how that goes. That's going to be my first time. I hear it's a lot to keep track of, but the game is better balanced, and the scenarios are better balanced for a two-player game. So I'm going to be doing that. And I thought I would jump into this one I've played not so long ago. Journey Down the Anduin, I believe it's called. And I need to reveal the hill troll. He's right here. He's up in the staging area right now. And I can't complete the 8 progress tokens on here until I defeat the hill troll, so I need to get rid of him first. Mindor is out here. He's also going to be working as our first player marker. He belongs to the first player when you play, and if he gets killed or leaves play, then we lose the game. I don't know why he is so important, but if we lose him, we lose. So let's try this out. We got a starting 29 threat over here. I did substitute a couple of heroes still within the starter pack, but I wanted to try Faramir and Baragond. Baragond looks like a good blocker. Faramir just kind of looks to be a bit different as far as like playing traps and stuff, and then Boromir over here. So we'll see how this goes. Starting threat of 32, so it's higher on this side. Let's get things going with our resources, and we'll draw a card for each hand. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is our Elven deck. We've got a mix of lore, spirit, and leadership here. And it's good to have a test of will in your hand. We've got a couple of Wingfoots here. I think we can only use one of these, but this could go on the... Actually, Ranger. I've only got one Ranger, so it has to go on Haldir. Anyway, some low-cost cards. That's not a bad collection there to begin with. Let's see what we get over here. Six cards to start with. We've got a sword and a title, a trap, feint, a shield, and pillars here. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think I need to draw a card for each side to add to their opening hands, and we're going to have the elves go first. Well, I think starting out, I do want to play this ring card. It's an artifact for Galadriel. When I first saw Galadriel's card in this starter set, I was shocked. It said you can't attack, quest, or defend. And I thought, well, what is she supposed to do? But she can exhaust and lower your threat and allow you to draw a card. At least that's something. But the good thing is that we can use this ring. This ring allows her to pay cards for pay for cards that have the lore resource, and we can exhaust the ring and Galadriel to give her willpower of 4 to another character. So this is, I think, very important for her. So that's probably a good one to start out with. So it means we're a bit vulnerable there. We won't be able to pay for our test of will. We've got Wingfoot. That would be a good one to give to Haldir. Wingfoot says it's a title. It goes on the ranger. He's a ranger. If you commit to a quest and you name one of 3 types of cards, enemy, location, or treachery, if a card of that type comes out during the quest phase, like the staging area, if that named type of card comes out, you can ready him. That's pretty good, I think. Now, Celeborn over here can give boost to allies when they come into play. Sylvan allies, elven allies. But also Galadriel, she also allows new allies to quest without exhausting. But it's only when they first come out. So you have a bit of this when they first come out kind of stuff going on. So I don't think I can really pay for anything else. We do have this first card, Elrond's Council. So if we control a unique Noldor, we have 1. That's Galadriel. You can play this at 0 cost and give +1 until the end of the phase. And lower your threat by 3. +1 to another character. Interesting. All right, well, one thing I'm trying to teach myself more about is about these action windows and how they work. Like right now we're in the planning phase. We get your resources, draw cards, there's an action window here. Planning phase, special action window, active player. So I guess during these action windows is when you can use the actions on different cards. So if I wanted to use Galadriel's abilities, I guess I have to think about a little bit about the timing. I don't know if I really worried so much about timing before, and I don't remember if there was an action window breakdown in the first manual. Maybe there was. Surely there was, but I just don't remember it. It's been a while. So let's keep going here. Well, as I get ready for the Gondor deck, we know we've got trouble coming from this hill troll. And we know we need to defeat the hill troll in order to complete this first quest card. And the hill troll is pretty nasty. He's got a 6 attack, a 3 defense, 9 hit points. And any excess damage he does when he attacks you, there's kind of a follow through, and you have to assign excess damage to your threat. So if he attacks for 6 damage and, you know, hits a 1-point chump blocker, 5 more damage is going to get through and go onto your threat counter. That's bad news. So we need a good attacker and a good blocker. Why don't we spend 1 from Boromir? And let's give him this sword. It can be attached to a noble. And it gives him +1 to his attack status. And then it says here for Baragond, he's a sentinel character. Very good at blocking, it looks like. Lower the cost of weapons and armor by 2. So he can basically get this Gondor shield for free, and that's going to pump his defense up to 6, which is great. He'll be able to possibly tackle this this hill troll. We just got to keep our threat under 30 over here for the elves. So that attachment was for free. And we've got a couple of feint cards. That's kind of nice. We might be able to fake out the troll if we have to, if we want to do our best to avoid getting damaged from him. So I think that's about all we can play this first turn. So anyway, if you're watching along with me, I appreciate it. This is me first trying to play with two hands, so let me know where I go wrong if I miss anything. We're heading into part 3 now, the quest phase. We need to commit some characters. We'll start over here. And I've never really worried about which side needed to start because I always did true solo. But I guess we need to start here and start committing some of our heroes to the quest. She's going to have to basically exhaust, and we'll exhaust our ring as well to give her willpower of 4 to another character. So why don't we give it to Haldir, and then we'll have Haldir quest, and let's start totaling this up. So that's going to be 4, 5, 6. 6 committed to the quest so far. And we're going to name something here. Why don't we name... let's see, it's either using his wingfoot. We have to either name enemy, location, or treachery. Let's name... enemy. We'll say enemy. So if an enemy comes out into the staging area, he will become unexhausted. He'll straighten his character sheet there. Celeborn might be dangerous if we go all in. But their threat is lower, but we don't know what else is coming out. So I probably ought to save somebody here to help us. So maybe we'll hold on for now, and we'll keep 6. We'll go over to this side. Well, our blocker has 0, so it looks like Faramir is going to be the one. He's going to exhaust for 2 more, so we'll make it an even 8. What do we want to do with Mendor? He belongs to the first player. Would he commit to the quest, or would we keep him around? Maybe we'll keep him around as an attacker. Because like I said, we're going to have to deal with this troll. So as we leave the quest, committing characters, we need to go to staging. So we're going to be drawing 2 cards. That is a location. Oh no! That's another troll. That is an enemy, so Haldir will straighten up. But man, that is bad news. That's bad news for our Gondor side, because we're going to have 2 trolls coming our way. Wow. All right. Well, let's put these up here. Well, this is rough. 2 hill trolls as we get into the quest resolution. We had 8. 1, 2, 3. So that's 5 that got through. We can put 5 progress tokens on the current location. I might be able to fit that here. So we need 8 to complete that, but we can't. Is it the hill troll or any hill troll? Players cannot defeat this stage while any hill troll cards are in play. We got to defeat 2. All right. Well, do we want to travel? It's going to take 6 to get rid of this thing. When faced with the option to travel, the players must travel to the east Bite. Is it Blight? No, Bite. East Bite. if there's no active. So we have to go here. So we're going to have to put that down as an active location. No choice. Okay, well, quest resolution is done. We're heading into encounters now. Are we going to lose right at the beginning? It is encounter time. Engagement checks. I mean, the question is, do we want to voluntarily pull one of these hill trolls off of the Gondor side? And I'm not sure I do. Because if we lose Mendor, game is over. And if he hits one of our heroes here, he's going to kill him. Nobody has enough hit points to survive an attack from a troll. We're hitting for 6. Blocking for 2 at the most. That's going to be 4 damage going through. Celeborn's going to be gone. These guys are a bit more sturdy, Boromir and Faramir, but man, that's going to put them on death's door. But at least they can take it, so gosh, we're going to have to take on both of these hill trolls on the Gondor side just to keep all of our heroes in the game. So we're entering combat phase, but talking about action windows, right? Combat phase begins. Deal shadow cards. There's action window. Does anybody have anything that they want to play? Okay, maybe. Let's take a look. There is a... the shadow cards get dealt first, right? So we'll go ahead and put those out, so we'll know which creature has attacked. But it says on this tactics card, and Baragond is a tactics hero. He's got 1 resource. Choose an enemy engaged with a player. That enemy cannot attack the player this phase. Well, that's useful. Let's tie up, fake out this first troll so that he can attack. In this case, I'm not really sure what gets done with the shadow card other than maybe discarded. But I don't think we have anything else we can do. But that was a good call. That was a good play. I don't think the elves have anything else to help out. No, not with this combat, they don't. Alright, so this one cannot attack. So we're going to put that into our discard pile. Maybe I'll just put the Gondor discard pile up here. And I think this gets discarded, but the troll is just, he's faked out. But this one is attacking. We're going to have our blocker Baragor put up his defenses here, so let's see how bad this gets. Shadow card says no effect. So he's hit for 6, and thanks to the shield, he blocks for 6. And he soaks that. So attacking the gold-bordered troll, our retaliation strike. We're going to get some help from over here. Mendor's going to shoot. Haldir's going to shoot. They're both ranged attackers. That was something I never really could make use of in solo play, was ranged and sentinel. I never had a way to really do much with that. So they can add to their attack, right? Along with Boromir. Boromir's attacking. We've got 3 + 1 for 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 damage against this troll. That means he's going to get slapped with a 5 token. Because he absorbed 3 of it. That's a pretty good strike, but we still got both of them left. And he can't attack because he is not armed properly to make a ranged attack. He doesn't have the ranged keyword, so he can't do it. So I think that's going to wrap up the combat phase. So I think now we just ready everyone. And we increase our threat by 1 for each side. So the elves go to 30, and Gondor is already up to 33. And then we're going to switch Mendor over here to the Gondor side, and then we're ready for the next round. All right, we've spread out the resources. We've drawn a card for each side. Mendor's now over here, so Gondor goes first. And we start our second turn of the game, facing off against 2 hill trolls, and, well, we're tied up with a good 6 progress tokens on this wasteland place. So these 5 are on the main quest, but we have nothing here yet. Let's see what we can do. Take a look at this card. This is kind of interesting, and why I put Faramir in here. He's got a ability to play these trap cards, or at least they were just included in the deck. And it says when you pay for this, it's lore. He's got 2 resources, so he can pay for this. You put this in the staging area, unattached to anybody. And the next eligible enemy that enters the staging area, you don't make engagement checks against that enemy. And they get a -2 threat. That's interesting. You don't make engagement checks, so they don't come after you. But I guess you can optionally engage if you want to. So maybe you can engage them when you're ready to. Wish I would have had that earlier for the second troll. So we would pay 2 to play this and put this into the staging area. And I'll, of course, see that and remind everyone of that if that becomes important. But that's what Faramir will do here during the planning phase. And I just don't have enough resources to do anything else. So I do have another Feint card, amazingly, that I can play. We played our first one already. So we've got that in our back pocket to tie up one of the trolls if we need to. All right, so let's check out the elves, see if we've got anything more we can play over here. I do have a test of will. I kind of want to hang on to that. Wingfoot is already played on Haldir, so this extra copy is just unneeded. I might be able to play this refugee at no cost because of Celeborn. Wasn't it Celeborn? No, it wasn't. That was a different card that's in this deck, but I don't have it yet. Celeborn gives the characters +1 to each of their stats, one of the allies when they come in. But I could play this one. This was a leadership card. It is a Sylvan ranged attacker. So if we put him in, that'll cost 2. And his attack's going to be boosted up to a 3. So that's nice. I guess that's all we'll do in the planning phase. You know, I have to say, I kind of miss easy mode, where everybody started with one resource. You could just do more right out of the gate on the first turn. This way really slows you down, like significantly. And also, I wouldn't have had more than one troll in the deck. These gold border cards would not be included. So this is definitely harder to get friends out and harder to take on all these foes. But that's what we're trying. So let's continue here. Travel phase. No, commit to the quest. That's what we need to do. Start with the first player. Nothing is in the staging area right now. So we just need to get 3 more here, but we got to get 6 here. So we are going to need quite a bit more. Should we commit Mindor, or should we keep piling on the attack damage? Mindor gives us a 1. I think as we're doing this, why don't we exhaust Galadriel and her ring, and let's add 4 willpower to Mindor, and then we'll exhaust him, and that's going to give us a total of 5 committed to the quest. So she's going to give that to him. So we've got 5 so far. Faramir. I don't know what's coming up into the staging area, and this side really has its hands full with trolls. We might be able to feint one more time, maybe take a blow from the other one, maybe, and then possibly take it down. Boromir's got the sword, so he can attack for about 4 damage. But that alone is not going to be enough, because this thing has 9 hit points. Even though it has 5 damage on it, Boromir would only get a little bit more on him. Faramir. Faramir is 2. These trolls have got to be the priority, I think. So I might risk the increased threat just to be able to get some attacks on these guys. So I'm going to say no. And then I'm going to commit anybody over here that can't attack. And that's going to be Celeborn. So that's going to be another 3. So we're going to go up to 8 on the quest. So let's draw out our 2 cards and see what we get in the staging area. Got another East Blight. And we already have an active. We're going to be lost in there forever. And then we've got some wargs up there with an engagement of. They will engage us for anybody. They're going to engage the Gondor side. Oh no, they're going to get swarmed with wargs. So those are in the staging area. Quest resolution 1, 2, 3 against 8. Not bad actually. Oh. Guess what? Ranger spikes. The wargs just fell into the ranger spikes. That is right. That is right. So they're stuck up there. They don't. They're not going to engage with us, and they've lost their threat level. So it's actually 1. So we got 7 points coming through. We knock that out, and 1 left over. And yeah, that's good news. Quest resolution. Then we go to the travel phase, and we're just right back in it. Same place. But these wargs are all tied up in the spikes. good. We don't have to worry about them. So we get to concentrate on these trolls for now. That's good news. Alright, just reconfirming you do not make engagement checks against the attached enemy. They're attached to the wargs. So they're not going to bother us for right now. Thank you, Faramir. So we're heading into the combat phase. And this is where this ranged keyword may really help here in two-handed play. At least I'm hoping. So we got to deal with these guys attacking. One shadow card each. So let's take a look and see. Do we need to feint again? Or do we want to... I don't know if we want to take a blow from either one of these guys. They just hit so hard. And this guy can't block for us because he's over here. So we've got to take it over here. One of the heroes is going to have to be hit, if not two heroes. And that's going to nearly kill the hero when they're hit. Depending upon the shadow card, it might wipe them out altogether. So, safest thing is just to feint again. Let's feint, spend a resource, and just eliminate this guy's ability to mess with us. So we got to deal with this one. Our shielded hero over here, he's going to be blocking this. So what have we got? We've got something here. Attacking enemy gets +1. +3 if it was undefended. So it's just a +1. So he's hitting for 7. We are blocking 4, 5, 6. So he does actually get rattled by that and takes a point of damage. Let's take him down. We need 4 more points of damage on this guy. So let me think about adding all this up. Okay, first time two-handed, bit more complicated combat here, but I like we've got some ranged attacks that can help out. So I think what I'm going to do is have Boromir with his sword and Faramir with his boost. Faramir gets +1 attack for each enemy in the staging area. There's some wargs over there. So he is attacking for 3. Boromir's attacking for 4. That's 7 damage. 7 damage on this guy. And he has 3 defense. So that's 4 that gets through. That's enough to total 9. And we just took down a hill troll. And what did this say? Let's take a look at this. This is from the campaign rule set. It says, after a hill troll is defeated, each player attaches 1 set-aside copy of Valor. After attached hero is declared as an attacker, exhaust Valor to heal 1 damage from the attached hero and deal 1 damage to the... That's nice. Okay, so after a hill troll, you take one of those Valor cards and put it on one of your heroes, right? Yeah, 1 set-aside copy. So it's limited to 1 per hero. But there's also a forced thing here. After a character is destroyed by a hill troll, each player sets 1 aside copy of Scarred. And I've got that over there in the box. I didn't pull that one out yet. After a character is destroyed. So would that be... I think a character... It doesn't say hero. A character is even one of our allies. Wow. So I kind of know that I'm going to be using Boromir as an attacker often. Even though he's the one that needs to heal, his attack is only 1. And I don't think I can give him one of these swords. I think it needs to go on a noble. And Baragond is not considered a noble. He's a Gondor warrior. So I can take a copy of Valor and attach it over here as well. And I think Haldir is probably my main attacker, Mr. Wingfoot. So let's give him that one. So we're not done. We're going to have some attacks coming from over here. So I think what we're going to do is have a ranged attack from Haldir and one from the Greenwood Archer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he came in this round, didn't he? 6. 6 attack over here, so that would put at least 3 damage on this guy as he was being faked out by the maneuver we played before. So we've got him down to 6 hit points left, which is still a lot. But yeah, we're pretty much all done. All right, threat goes up to 31 and 34 for Gondor. And Mendor's back over here. All right, so I guess we're heading into turn 3 and need to gain our resources first. Got some Valor cards out there from the campaign mode. And we need to draw a card for each side. We've got a Scout coming in and Gandalf over here for the Gondor. All right, so first player, elves go first. Well, here's a bit of an odd one. Sylvan Refugee. Cost is 1 from Spirit, so we'll take that from Galadriel. And it doesn't really do much other than just give you some willpower to quest with. But the odd thing is that after a character leaves play, and I think that means character means like anybody, discard, you have to discard the refugee. So low cost, it'll give you a little bit of help, but it won't stick around for very long. Just decided to put a little note on here that ally is going to be able to exhaust without, or quest without exhausting, and then also get +1 to each of its stats being a Sylvan ally. So a couple of little bonuses for that one. And I don't really have any way to pay for anything else. So I think that is it for this turn. We've still got Test of Will in our back pocket if we need it. Well, we've got this visionary leadership. We can probably attach that to Boromir as well. As long as he has 1 resource. Ooh, I missed that totally. Let's take a look at Boromir. He was doing something I don't know if I've really taken into account enough. We'll zoom in a bit. And while Boromir has at least 1 resource in his resource pool, Gondor allies get +1 to attack. Gondor allies. I don't think we've had any allies in play. Okay, so it's not the other heroes. Yeah, so that hasn't been taken into effect yet. So what does this one do? While attached hero has 1 resource in their pool, Gondor characters, so that would be everybody, heroes and allies, get +1 willpower. So that's what he's gonna pay for and bring into the game. All right, so with well, he has no points in his resource pool, so those bonuses won't count for anything right now. But let's head into questing. Starting over here, we'll exhaust Galadriel and her ring, and that will give us 4 points to add to somebody. And I'm wondering if along with that, at a 0 cost, if we want to possibly drop this one as well. If you control a unique Noldor character, +1, and then lower your threat. I don't know. I may hang on to that. That might be useful later. Let's just let's keep focusing on this troll. So, for who's it going to go to? Why don't we take it to the refugee? So we're going to have the refugee who will not exhaust this turn, thanks to Galadriel's ability. And so that's going to be a total of 7 when we combine her ability and her boosted stat, the refugee. So we've got 7 so far just from Galadriel and the refugee. Then we want to make sure we can take out this troll. Let me think a little more. Since we have the refugee down here helping, at least for the moment, let's go ahead and have Celeborn quest as well. So that's going to take that to 10. Question is, should we do this with Haldir? I sort of want to save him as an attacker, but the Wingfoot, I can take a gamble and possibly exhaust him and maybe get him readied. It's a gamble, though. Don't have anything in the staging area worth counting. I've got 10. Probably we're going to be okay, but I would say let's make sure we can take out everything we need to. So Mendor, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So let's take a look over here, see if anybody over here wants to quest. I honestly don't think so. I really want to make sure we take care of this troll and anything else that comes our way. But with their threat getting up there, it's going to be harder to draw enemies over here. All right, let's just move on. Let's go with 10. Let's see what happens. We've got a Misty Mountain Goblin. 15 engagement cost on them, and then these orcs. So we're getting attacked, definitely. Okie doke. Well, quest resolution 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6. 6 progress tokens get through. So it knocks this out, but still missing 2 here. But that's all right, because we still have a hill troll we need to deal with. We wouldn't have been able to complete that anyway. So we'll go to the next part. All right, I think this may work out pretty good for us. We want to keep the troll busy on the Gondor side. They've got the defense, and they've got enough attack, I think, to take it out. So optional engagement check. Let's draw one of these guys down. I think we do have a win revealed here. The first player chooses one character currently committed to a quest and deal 2 damage to that character. Whoa. I guess I'm going to choose Galadriel because she doesn't really attack or defend or do anything. So, ouch. The first player committed to the quest. Is she committed to the quest? Not really. She can't quest. So that may not work. Let me think. I need to think of another enemy here. The first player chooses one character currently committed to a quest. So it has to be... it was all over here. So it's going to have to be Celeborn, or it's going to have to be the refugee. Choose one character currently committed to the quest. Deal 2 damage to that character. I think I'm going to let it be the refugee. The refugee just got eliminated. So we'll put that up in our discard. Okay, I can put it over here. But something happens, right? Was there anything that triggered? Maybe not. Okay. So, yeah, I guess the refugee got killed by the orcs. So now we're going into optional engagement. We'll bring the orcs down. And I read that you can only bring one thing down. Let me know if that's wrong. But I think these optional engagement checks are you can bring one down voluntarily. I guess we'll put those over there because that killed the refugee. And then we go to regular engagement check. And then that we're the starting player, so we have to take this one. And that's the goblins. And they're going to mess you up because when they attack, you have to remove a progress token from your current quest. So both of these are just nasty. Okay, so we got our hands full. We've done the engagement. I think it's time for combat to begin. Let's see how this is going to play out. I guess the first thing we'll do is go with the orcs. Who's going to be blocking the orcs? The orcs have an attack value of 2. We definitely don't want it to be Mindor, because if he loses, he's out of the game. Celeborn's already exhausted. Our archers have no defense. Wow, this is not so good, is it? I need more allies. Well, I guess we're going to have to declare is that crazy? Let's tell me again what Valor did. Something about when you, after attached hero is declared as an attacker, exhaust this card and heal 1 damage and deal 1 damage to the defending enemy. So they're very good at attacking, but not defending. It's not going to help them defend. Three hit points on these orcs. I wonder if I'm going to have to lose my Greenwood Archer. Maybe so. I mean, Mindor can survive this hit most likely, but if he is out, we lose the game. I need to protect him. So I don't really want to use him as a blocker. All right. Archers will defend. No shadow card. They only have 1 hit point and 0 defense, so they do get killed, unfortunately. Goblins attacking. Attack power of 2. Attack power of 2. It's going to have to be Haldir, isn't it? All right, Mendor is going to take 1 shot. Can he survive it, please? Okay, yes. 2 attack, 1 absorbed, 1 damage on Mendor. He survived. We lose a progress token because these guys attacked. That made me nervous. I wanted this guy to be able to counterattack. Let's resolve our attacks over here. Definitely going with Blocker Boy. Shadow card. Defending character does not count. Alright, hold on. Look at that shadow effect. Defending character. My defending character who has 6 defense does not count his defense. And he's going to get blasted by this troll for 6 damage. That's going to kill him. I don't like shadow cards. That's a brutal combination. So he hits for 6 damage. I don't know what he did. Totally pierced his armor, got past his shield, and he only had 1 hit point left. So what is that? Sorry, 3 hit points left, 6 damage, 3 get through. I think our threat goes up to 37. And we lose our blocker. And I guess his shield is gone as well. Terrible. Let's take this guy out. Fighting back. Haldir. Haldir is attacking. Which one's worse? Probably these guys. Haldir is attacking them for 3. And can we use Valor here? Attached heroes declared as an attacker exhaust, heal 1 damage, and deal 1 damage to the defending enemy. So that will allow us to do a total of 4 to this guy. And so 1 damage starts, and then we hit for 3. -1 is 2. So that's a total of 3. That would kill these guys. They're gone. Mendor is still available to attack. We'll have him attack here. They have 0 defense, so it's just 1, but he pops them with an arrow. Does 1 damage to the orcs. Over here, let's take this troll down. Boromir's attacking. 3. With his sword, 4. With the Valor, Valor's going to put a point of damage on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Faramir is attacking as well. 5, 6 wargs in the staging area, 7. So that's 4 more damage. Is that right? Is that still not enough? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. That's 4 more damage going through. That's going to be a total of 8. We still haven't killed this thing. Wow. Alright, we just readied everybody up and increased our threat. Switched the first player marker. And I am really sad to have lost my blocker. Wow. Heading into the next round, I guess this would be the 4th turn of the game. Spreading out their resources. We'll draw cards. We've got a Sylvan Tracker. And not sure what this is. Something that Faramir can use. Let's see what we can do. Well, the sad thing is I've got a good tactics ally. I can't play him. We lost our tactics hero. So, no, there's nothing I want to play this turn. So these guys will hold. Let's check the elves. Let's play some allies over here. Got a guide coming out. Allows a character not to exhaust when they quest. So why don't we choose Mendor? That's a safe call. And then let's bring in another ally, the Sylvan Tracker. It's a lore character. And it basically says whenever a Sylvan character readies during the refresh phase, they can heal 1 damage as long as this ally is on the board. And this ally is going to be boosted as well. So let's put a little die on it also. Alright, so nobody's doing anything over here. Questing, that's going to have to be... yeah, and he's going to quest with her boost. But he doesn't exhaust. So that means 4, 5. Questing for 5. And question is, do we want to commit anybody else to the quest? Staging area is clear. 2 more cards will be coming out. This is a new ally, it's boosted. That's a new ally, it's boosted. Maybe we'll commit... Let's commit Haldir to the quest. It's going to exhaust him. But using Wingfoot, we're going to name an enemy. We're going to say... Well, we're going to name a card. We're going to say enemy is the card type. So that's going to be plus another 2, taking it to 7. And then... I think that's all we should do. It's not that much, is it? Staging as we go into quest resolution. Gladden Fields location. Threat is 3. When revealed, reveal X additional cards from the encounter deck, where X is the number of players in the game. Two more cards. It's one of these gold border cards, one of these hard ones. Alright, do we want to do this? I guess so. When revealed, remove 4 progress tokens from the current quest card. We're going to be here forever. It takes us down to 1. It's another gold border card. A Goblin Sniper. Great. During the encounter phase, players cannot optionally engage the Goblin Sniper if there are other enemies in the staging area. So those tied up wargs may keep us from being able to engage this Goblin Sniper. Anyway, if Goblin Sniper is in the staging area at the end of the combat phase, each player deals 1 damage to a character they control. What a harassing rascal. Okay, well, I don't like him. So current threat there is 5, so 2 get through. So we've got a total of 3 on here. And still got a hill troll in our face. We're having a rough time here. So we're going to head into travel phase. When this is the active location, each player must raise their threat by an additional point during the refresh phase. It just gets better and better, doesn't it? All right, so a bit of an odd situation here as we have an opportunity to do engagement checks. We do not need to check against the wargs, but we could pull them down voluntarily if we wanted to. But right now, in the current circumstances with 2 heroes, I don't want to do that. This is the first player, right? So that's going to leave the goblin up there unattended. So basically no engagement here. We go over to this side. We do not make a check against the wargs. And there's nothing to engage because the Goblin Sniper hides there. He says players cannot optionally engage Goblin Sniper if there are other enemies. And he's got a 48, so he's not wanting to crawl out of his perch to attack us. So there's no engagement. So we have to resolve this over here first with the Gondor attacks. Let's begin the combat, but I think we need to take a look at some action windows after we deal some shadow cards. Take one here and one here. So as we take a look at this shadow cards, there is an action window. I think I might be able to do something here. I'm not 100% sure, but we named enemy for Wingfoot, so he would have readied. And as an action, if you have not engaged an enemy this round, and we haven't, we didn't engage a new enemy, exhaust him to declare an attack against an enemy not engaged with you. And I'm going to choose the Goblin Sniper. And so let me know if you think this is legal. But I'm going to exhaust him to make a ranged attack value. It's an attack of 3, and I can boost it to 4 with a Valor card. But they have no defense and 2 hit points, so I think we just shot them out of the tree and knocked those Goblin Snipers out. And I think we did that as a combat action during the action window here. So that's what I'm thinking. Let me know what you think on that call. But I think that's by the book as far as I'm understanding. So first player, we got a bad situation here. Who's going to block this? I think Faramir is going to block this. Coming in, we have a no effect. I hate that treachery card, by the way. 6 attack, 2 absorbed, 4 damage. 4 damage gets through on Faramir. And he only has 5 hit points. Horrible, horrible stuff. He takes the blow and is still alive. Over here, who's going to be blocking these goblins, these orcs? 2 attack on the attack power. Why don't we have Celeborn would be the best, wouldn't he? But they have 3 hit points. It would be better if one of the allies were to block. Why don't we have the scout block this attack? But they are boosted this turn, aren't they? Both of them. So let me think this through. If he blocked, he couldn't attack, but they could. But they would attack for a total power of 4. That could do it. All right, so let's have him block. Let's see. Shadow effect. Attacking enemy gets +1 to its attack. So it is attacking for 3 attack. So he does take a point of damage. Now, counterattack. The tracker and the guide are boosted this turn. +1 attack each. They're both going to exhaust and attack. Boom, boom. They're going to hit for 2 and 2. No defense. That's 4 damage. It only had 2 hit points. Thankfully, these orcs are taken off the board. Now, I haven't resolved the attack against this guy yet. I should have done this one first. Boromir. Boromir is attacking. His Valor card does 1 more point of damage. And then he attacks with his sword for 3 + 1 is 4. And then Mendor is going to be adding his attack value as well. So 3, 4, 5. But 1 damage was already on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage on the attack. 3, 2 more get through. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That killed him. That's already killed him. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's enough to drop the hill troll number 2. So let's look at the campaign rules. Yeah, after a hill troll is defeated, each player attaches 1 set-aside copy of Valor to a hero they control, and we're going to attach that to Faramir, but I think I missed something already. I think we needed to attach these when our blocker got taken out. It says, after a character you control is destroyed, raise your threat by 1. So after this guy got taken out, maybe we'll put that on Boromir. Boromir's kind of scarred, and then we need to put it on somebody over here. I guess we'll put it with our, yeah. So after a character you control is destroyed, raise your threat by 1. And then didn't we lose like somebody? So I think their threat would actually be like 33 at least. Sorry I missed that. This is new to me, very new. But I think we've killed the troll and cleared the staging area except for the spiked wolves who are caught. And we've got this marshland, so we're going to have to raise our threat by 2 here at the end of the turn. So, wait a minute. Sylvan Scout. After a Sylvan character readies during the refresh phase, heal 1 damage. So as he readies, he's going to heal 1. That is wonderful. We'll take these boosts off. Everybody's readied over here. You know, Mendor could have healed as well. We want to make sure he survives. So let's heal him. He's a Sylvan character. So let's make sure. Let's make sure we're taking care of Mendor. So Valor, he doesn't heal until he attacks. But if we have him attack, he can start to heal up a bit. All right. Mendor goes over here, but we have to raise our threat by 2. We go to 35. And then we hit 40 over here. And I think that triggers something with his sword. I think Boromir's sword at 40 threat gives him +2 to attack. So it seems to be this Gondor deck likes to be at 40 threat from what I'm seeing. All right, so we've refreshed everybody. We've done our threat increase. We've passed the first player marker back over here, and I think we're ready for the next turn. Rough going. All right, had a little break. Going to continue my playthrough here. I've handed out the resources, dealt 1 card to each deck. We've got, that wasn't it, this lore card, which will let me draw some cards. Over here, I unfortunately drew a tactics ally I can't use because my tactics guy is dead. I thought I had lost an ally and that scarred would have made my threat go up, but I double checked back and I've lowered the threat back down to 34 because I had lost an ally before I became scarred. At least that's what I thought I saw back during the double check. And when we killed the second troll, according to the campaign rules, I should have given another copy of Valor to someone, so I think I'll put it with Celeborn here. Might give him a chance to maybe heal in the future. So, what are we doing? First player, we've got our elf deck. Got rid of 2 trolls, and we're just trying to get down to the river. 3 progress tokens. We lost some progress because of something. I forgot what happened. We're going to start by playing these runes, which will allow us to draw 2 cards and then discard 1. I know the one I want to discard. Wingfoot. We already have that in play, so I don't think we need another copy of that. And let's see, what do we want to put out here? We've got enough to play the Handmaiden if we want to do that. Would take 2, and it'd be another ally. So let's go ahead and play the Handmaiden. She's going to be boosted this turn. That's going to cost 2 off of Galadriel. And we've got this Limbus bread. We can pay that from here. Attach it to a hero. Why don't we give that over there to, let's put that over here with Faramir. Help out the old Faramir who got just nearly destroyed by the troll. So I think that's it for planning over here. Let's head over to this turn, the Gondor side. We don't have much. We've got 2 tactics allies we cannot play. Gandalf. Well, we do have enough resources to call Gandalf. I wonder if we should do that. We've got some questing to do here. What was this again? Yeah, we got to keep cranking up the threat 2 times while that is in play. But this is going to wipe us of resources. What do we do if we draw another troll? That won't be good. If we do draw a troll, it's going to go over here. That would be very bad. Well, maybe we'll just hang on to our resources for now. Let's just hang on. I want to keep Gandalf in my back pocket for now. So this takes an action. So the Limbus bread takes an action. We're in the planning phase right now. Special action window. I think that's where we are. So I think we could play it, meaning activate it. So the Limbus bread says if you control, okay, attach to a hero. Discard Limbus to ready attached hero and heal 3 damage from it. Well, maybe we should save that after we're exhausted or something. That readying a hero might be good for us later. So I guess we're not really going to play anything. So let's continue on to questing. Well, we'll use Galadriel with her ring. Add 4, maybe up here to the Handmaiden, who's going to quest for 1, 2, plus 1 is 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to be 7 questing. And we're going to have 2 cards coming in, right? Something about allies. Yeah, she won't exhaust. Do we want our scout to quest? Or maybe Wingfoot here? Why don't we quest with Wingfoot? We'll say enemy again. So we might be able to straighten ourselves out if an enemy shows up. That's going to go up to 9. I don't think I want to quest over here. These guys are in enough trouble where they are. These are my fighters over here, but man, Faramir's about to go. So I guess we're just questing with 9. So let's go into the staging and see what we've got. We do have an enemy, so he's going to ready. One of those guys that take away your progress tokens. And then we've got the Necromancer's Pass. So staging area is 5. requesting for 9. So 4 get through. That's going to take us to 7. No, it's not. We got to put 3 down here first. 1, 2, 3. Right. So 3 are knocked out. So only 1 more. So we're halfway. But at least we knocked that out. So with the quest resolution done, we can travel to the Necromancer's Pass. Travel. The first player must discard 2 cards from their hand at random. Oh no. I have 3 cards. Alright, discarding this one and this one. Oh, test of will! That hurt. Alright, so we traveled there. Only 2 progress tokens needed in the future. Alright, so where are we now? Travel phase is done. Engagement. We are in the optional engagement. We're the first player over here, so this guy will be coming down. So, yeah, this is a combat action. Yep, he's going to have to come down towards us here. This Misty Mountain Goblin. They're the ones that when they attack, you remove 1 progress token. So he is going to attack. Let's see. Guess we'll deal a shadow card. That was the only, other than this wolf who's stuck on the spike trap. We need to choose a defender. So, who's going to be blocking the Misty Mountain Goblin? Maybe, I think we got enough to pile on some attacks. Why don't we let the Wingfoot here, Haldir, when he attacks, we lose a token. And there is a shadow effect. Defending player chooses and returns 1 exhausted ally they control to its owner's hand. If they control no exhausted allies, raise their threat by 3. No exhausted allies. So our threat goes up to 37. And the attack is 2 damage. We blocked 1. So we do take a hit here. But we're going to pile on the attacks in the counterattack part. We're going to have Valor used with Celeborn to throw a damage counter on this guy. And we're going to heal him 1. Because that's what Valor does, if I remember it correctly. Yeah, deal 1 damage, heal 1 damage, and then deal 1 damage to the defending enemy. So he will be attacking for 2, 3, 4, 5 damage coming in. 1 defense. That's going to be 4 getting through. That's does more than enough to take out the goblin. So I think we're ready to start getting everybody fixed for the next turn. Nobody was exhausted over here. We'll pass this, and everybody's threat goes up 1. So 38 for the elves and 41 for Gondor. Spread out the resources. Let's deal some cards. Got a refugee over here. And Gandalf. Is that? Do I have both Gandalfs in my hand? I think I do. Okay. First player, Gondor side. I'm not really sure what to do over here. I'm down to 2 heroes. Can't play tactics. Maybe we should go with a Gandalf play. A Gandalf play and do what? Maybe draw cards? So if we pay... If we pay 3 from there and maybe 2 from here, we can buy Gandalf. Gandalf will come into play. Let's use him to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. That's got us some allies we can bring in, but we don't have the resources now. Okay, let's go over here. See what we can do. Got 2 cards in my hand. Got a refugee and a minstrel. We can pay for the refugees. If we pay 1, refugee comes in, we'll have a boost from Celeborn. Refugee has 2 willpower, but can't really do anything else. And if it leaves, if another character leaves play, the refugee leaves as well. So that's where we stand in the planning phase. Gandalf. Gandalf would be maybe pretty good at questing. So let's have him commit to the quest with a 4. And then we can exhaust Galadriel and give her questing power to the Sylvan refugee. She'll quest without exhausting. That'll be another 4, 5, 6, 7. Another 7. It's going to be an 11. And then do we want anyone else? Maybe the scout? Scout can add 1 more. So questing for 12. Let's see what we get. Wonder if we should quest with the handmaiden too. I don't want to get too spread out, but yeah, let's go ahead and quest with the handmaiden. So that's going to be another 2 going to 14. All right, let's see what we've got. When revealed, each location in the staging area gets +1 until the end of the phase. Each player with a threat of 35 or higher chooses and discards 1 card from their hand. I've only got 1 card in my hand. Here, that's easy. We'll choose one of the tactics allies. Can't play him anyway. So what else? Well, there's nothing in the staging area, so I guess that's that. Another when revealed. Each enemy and each location currently in the staging area gets +1 until the end of the phase. If there are no cards in the staging area, driven by shadow gains surge. Well, technically the wargs are there. They're just at -2 threat, so they're going to get +1. So basically we have 1 in the staging area. So that actually helped out to have them there. So 1 versus 14. That's 13 progress going through. So 3 go there. No, 2 go there. We get rid of that. And let's see. That actually gives us enough to knock out this stage. So with the rollover, we are going to switch now to this one. Whoa, it requires 16 progress tokens. Reveal 1 additional card from the encounter deck each quest phase, but do not make engagement checks during the encounter phase. But we can still engage optionally if we want to. 1 enemy, each player may take 1 enemy each time. That's a long way. 16. All right, well, the only real combat we can do here is to maybe damage the wargs up there in the staging area, if we want to. By keeping the wargs up there, Faramir's at +1, and we don't really have to deal with them. But if we want to get rid of them, we can. Maybe. How much damage could we do? Valor could do 1, and then we could hit him for another 3. So yeah, combined all that together, using Haldir's ability to attack an enemy you're not engaged with, we could take out the wargs. Why don't we go ahead and do that? We'll attack in the staging area. We'll kill the wargs. We get our trap card, goes away, and then we'll just refresh everyone and prepare to enter the turn. That's going to heal. Valor will heal this Haldir 1 point, so that's good. We lose the boost, but keep the refugee for now. And wait a minute. Discard Gandalf from play. After a character leaves play, discards. I guess that counts. So I guess the refugee goes with Gandalf. I guess so. Alright, so we'll shift over here, and we traveled to that location, so just 1 point counting up instead of 2. And I think that will end this round. All right, everybody, I'm back. It's a different day, actually. And my daughter is going trick-or-treating, and it's November 3rd. Everybody was too busy. Whoever organized this event, they couldn't do it on Halloween. So my wife and daughter are heading out in costumes to go trick-or-treating at some event. So I'm going to continue my playthrough. We've got the elves are the first players. Let's spread some love here with resources for those that remain. And we'll draw a card for each side. And we've got an archer here. We might as well bring it in. Let's pay 2 resources. And we'll put down, it's a boosted archer, at least for this round. And then we'll head over here, and we're unable to play tactics cards. Not anymore. We could play a little Squire of the Citadel. Just give us a little bit of a blocker here if we pay 1. And I possibly could be able to pay for 1 more. We paid a hefty chunk last time, I think, to play Gandalf, so that's why we're so low on resources over here for this turn. Just wondering if we want to do anything with this guy. But there is a card in here that lets me tie up an attacker, but it's a lore card, so I'm not sure whether to play the ally or what. Maybe it's better to get another ranger out there. Why don't we play this? It'll cost us 2 resources. We'll get another ally out over here. We need help on the Gondor side. So that will be the planning phases for the turn. So we're heading into questing next. So I think we're going to exhaust Galadriel and give her questing power to... Maybe we'll give it to the Handmaiden. And we will exhaust the Handmaiden. So that's going to be 4, 5, 6. 6 on the quest so far. And then I wonder if we want to quest hard. Like really hard. Like so hard that we may not even have good blockers. I may want to leave a blocker on each side or something. But let's have Celeborn. We'll have him quest. That's another 3. So that's going to be a 9. Because we got to make 16 progress to get down the river here. Who else do we want? Maybe the... this guy is boosted. He has a questing power of 1. So let's see. I guess since he's boosted, we'll... I don't know, that gives him, he's got an attack of 3 this turn. That's a good attack. But I think we want a quest, so we'll go to 10. We'll go ahead with Mendor, go to 11. And I'm about to go all in, honestly. Maybe leaving somebody behind as a blocker. I'm not sure whom, though. Maybe the guide could serve as a blocker. Sylvan Tracker. It's going to be a 12. And Haldir, we're going to commit him for another 2. That's going to be a 14. And we're going to name enemy like we always do. And then we'll leave 1. Over on the Gondor side, we will... quest here. Let me read again what this leadership does. 1 resource. All Gondor characters get +1 to willpower. So he's a 2. So that's going to go to 16. Faramir is going to be also boosted. And it says... just as an action, discard and ready the attached hero. So why don't we do that? I bet there's a window as we're going through this. We're in the questing phase, right? Commit characters. Yeah, after we commit characters, we have an action window. So I'm going to come back to him there. And then we'll go ahead and commit all Gondor characters have +1. I guess we will commit our ranger down here. So that'll make a 17 on the questing. 17. And then we've got one blocker here. Okay, so committed to the quest. There's an action window. Let's spin that action window to discard the bread and ready the attached hero. And then heal 3 damage. So, boy, that helps a lot. Faramir is down to 1 point of damage now. All right, 17 on the quest. Here comes the staging. We've got Enchanted Stream and then these crows. Enchanted Stream says, while the stream is the active location, players cannot draw cards. This is worth 2. The crows, crows have Surge, so I guess that happens immediately. Treacherous Fog. When revealed, each location in the staging area gets +1. Each player with a threat of 35 or higher chooses and discards 1 card from their hand. So we don't have any. But that's an easy choice again. We got a tactics card that we cannot use. We'll discard that one. So +1 on the location. So that's a 3, 4. 4 in the staging area. So with a 17, I think we're looking at 13. Yeah, because this is a forced thing. After the crows are defeated, you shuffle it back into the encounter deck. So 14 counters on the current quest. Not bad. 14 on the current quest. Questing is done. So I think we're heading into the travel phase. I guess we'll travel to the Enchanted Stream. We cannot draw cards while this is here. So that means I guess we're playing cardless on this side. 2 location or 2 progress tokens needed to get here. So now we just have the crows. The first player are the elves, so engagement check. It says 30. So these guys are coming down to engage the elves over here to make an attack. So this is an enemy, so he would have readied. So not bad. I guess we begin with the attack. Crows attack, and we're going to block with the guide. Shadow card will be dealt, and shadow card effect: defending player chooses and returns 1 exhausted ally they control to its owner's hand. If they control no exhausted allies, raise their threat by 3. Okay, an exhausted ally to my hand. Why don't we bring back the Handmaiden? All right, so at least that gives us 1 card to play in the future, hopefully. So, yep, attacking for 1 damage. Actually, that's enough to kill the guide. She has no defense. So with a 0 defense and 1 hit point, she is killed. Now, I guess she is destroyed, isn't she? After a character you control is destroyed, raise your threat by 1. So I think the elves just jumped to 40. 40 threat, and I don't... Is it you control? Yeah, so it's not... I don't think it's going to qualify for both sides. So counterattack, we're going to exhaust and fight back. We're going to be able to do... We can even use Valor and just kill these crows and drive them off. They're going to be shuffled back into the encounter deck. So they are somewhere back in there. And that resolves the combat and engagement. So I think we're ready to refresh and raise our threat by 1 each side. So 43 over here and 41 on the elf side. Mindor's shifted over. And I think we're ready to start the next turn. All right, resources have been placed for this next turn, but we cannot draw a card because of the enchanted stream location. So we still have some cards in our hand over here. I don't know. I don't really think there's much that I want to play. I could get another ally out here. So if we play this one is not sphere specific. It just takes 2. So if we take 1 from here, 1 from here, and play this, it says after the envoy enters play, add 1 resource to a Gondor or Noble's resource pool. We'll put that back on Faramir. Give him 1. That's all we'll do. We'll go to the elves. I think we'll pay 2 off of Galadriel. Bring in the Handmaiden. It says as she enters play, choose a player. That player reduces their threat by 1. We're going to take the elves down to 40. She's going to be boosted thanks to Celeborn, and that is pretty much it. So we're ready to start committing to the quest. So Boromir does have a resource that's going to boost his leadership. So everybody's going to have +1 to their willpower over here. So let's commit some of these allies to questing. That'll be 2, 3. And we'll have him go for maybe have Faramir go. That's going to be 6. All right, let's keep it there. So Gondor side, not the best at willpower, but they're adding 6. What about Mindor? Should we go with Mindor? Maybe. Let's go over here. I might choose to actually take an action here and add her willpower. No, she'll just give it to the Handmaiden. So yeah, we'll go ahead and commit Mindor. So we'll make this a 7. She's exhausted. Give her 4, 5, 6, 7. That's another 7. So that's 14. It already doubles. And Celeborn has a good willpower. So 17. And let's see, anybody else? Maybe we'll go again with our Wingfoot Ranger here. That's another 2 to 19. And we're going to name enemy, as we usually do. So she does not exhaust to quest, thanks to Galadriel's boost. So let's go to staging and see what we get. We got 19 on the quest. A couple of bad cards here, I think. When revealed, the first player, that's here, chooses one character currently committed to the quest and deal 2 damage to that character. I think we'll have it be the envoy. So we've lost the envoy. That, because we are scarred, takes us to threat of 44. Alright, well what about this one? This one is 1 damage to each exhausted character. We don't have a test of wills. So this may be pretty bad. How many times in a turn can Scarred get you? I guess as many times as it happens. Uh-oh. Well, let's see. Deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. Mindor takes a damage. Faramir takes a damage. The ranger down here takes a point of damage. Enemy. We drew enemy. He is not exhausted. Galadriel takes damage. Celeborn. I hate this card. And our handmaid is not exhausted. So I think that is it. So that goes away. But the orcs are here. They're going to be coming down. Their threat value is 2 against 19. So 17 progress. I think we just blew that away. So 2 on there gets rid of that. So what is that, like 15 more? 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We only needed 2. So we've successfully made our trek down the Anduin, and we're headed to the next part. So we're at the ambush. When revealed, reveal 2 encounter cards per player and add them to the staging area. Skip the staging step of the quest phase for the remainder of the game. Once there are no enemies in play, players have won the game. All right. 2 per player. We have a location here, Banks of the Anduin location. Another Banks of the Anduin location, exactly the same. The Brown Lands, that's 4 locations. So that is interesting. What if we had not had any enemies there? Once there are no enemies in play, the players have won the game. Well, we've got a ton of locations up here, but we're not really doing the staging anymore, are we? It's just fighting. So all we need to do is take care of these orcs and we will win the game. So they're going to encounter us, engage us right now. So they come down, and we need to draw a shadow card. And let me check action windows again, as I'm again trying to learn. There is an action window right here. After you deal shadow cards, there's an action window. And this is in the combat phase. So I think this will work. I think what we'll have is our Haldir is going to exhaust as a ranged character combat action. If you've not engaged an enemy this round, exhaust him and declare him as an attacker against an enemy not engaged with you. So he's going to shoot at these orcs. He's attacking Valor. He will exhaust Valor and do 1 point to the orcs to start. and then his attack is 3, and that's enough to kill them. So they only had 2 hit points left, so we'll toss that shadow card, and the orcs are out. No more enemies in play, and that is a win. Well, everybody, I'm sure I made some mistakes, but that was my first time playing two-handed solo. It was definitely more complicated than I'm used to, but there were some neat things I could do. I don't think I ever got a chance to do anything with Sentinel, but we did have a chance to make use of ranged characters, and that was neat. And it was nice being able to have maybe one side better at something and the other side was better at something else. So we had the elves that were really good at questing, and then we had sort of our fighters and defenders over here on the Gondor side. But that troll attack that ignores, due to the shadow card, ignored all defense was a horrible combination, and that really made me question if I was going to be able to pull this off. But the Valor cards were a cool addition. That's definitely helpful. And then I've never seen these Scarred cards, but they're an interesting addition as well. So hopefully I played those correctly first time. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. And probably what I'll do is get together either these decks or some others and try the next mission out of the core box that I tried true solo and just got destroyed, I think, in the first turn or something. It was impossible. There was no way I could do it. So can I do it with two-handed? Hopefully. Hopefully I can. So that difficulty is cranked up, evidently, more so than here. What did I think, I guess, in closing about standard mode versus easy mode? As a more casual player of the game, I think I prefer easy mode, just because the encounter deck doesn't have so many repetitive cards. I don't think you have as many cards. Like, there is a hill troll that attacks, but you have multiple hill trolls in the deck, and that was fine. But I think I like the way that a slimmer deck is less repetitive. So I actually kind of like that some of the duplicates, because I've been looking at my discards here, and some of those gold cards I've come across. There's one. They're just like this one. They're just duplicates. I don't. Maybe some of them are originals, but a lot of them are just duplicates. And it just cranks up the difficulty by being more of these bad things. And I kind of don't mind the sort of more streamlined approach where, you know, when I was creating Magic the Gathering decks just for home play, I didn't use a lot of duplicates. I liked having one spell of this and one spell of that and one spell of that, just to keep it interesting, instead of just spamming the same minion all the time, or is that what it's called, or spamming the same spell all the time. So yeah, being able to start with one resource token, having less duplicate cards, might be preferable for me. But playing with the shadow cards, that was unpredictable. You know, that's what made the kill strike against, what was the hero's name over here? I put him in. He was an alternative hero, Baragond. I was very excited to have him in here and have him blocking, you know, for defense. Just awesome. Easy to give him a shield. It didn't cost anything. And he was ready to take a pounding from those trolls, but not when they ignore his armor. So that was rough. So yeah, I think I'll, keep the shadow cards and not play what's called the basic game, where you don't play with those. But I might prefer easy mode, just to enjoy myself and have some fun. And then if I get, if it gets too easy or too stale, I might go back to standard mode and put the duplicates in. These gold rimmed duplicate cards. I think. Let's see what else is in here. If there's anything unique. Let's see, just more crows. Maybe this is new. This marsh adder. I don't remember seeing that before. This chieftain. I wonder if I'll compromise and sort of maybe put a couple of those uniques in there for the excitement of maybe coming across some of these things. But maybe skip all the duplicate ones. I know that's not exactly following the rules exactly, but just looking to have a good time. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you later.